Hello there and welcome to this CSWatch J276 video where we're going to be looking at computer systems today, so let's get going. So in this video we are going to be looking at what is meant by the term computer system, making sure we're happy with that, looking at examples of different types of computer system and an overview of components which are used within a computer system. So what we need to make sure is that we're happy with what a computer is. So a computer is something that processes data. Whether you're sat at a computer, on a laptop, on a games console, whatever happens, regardless, you're going to input some sort of data. So you're going to use a keyboard, a controller, a microphone to give commands. The computer then processes it. So it looks at the inputs, it looks at what it's doing. So if you're playing FIFA and you press the shoot button, it says, right, okay, then I need to start taking a shot. And then something happens as a result of it. So you see something happening, appearing on the screen, there's noise being played. A computer uses a blend of hardware, so something physical, something you can see, something you can touch, and software, something which is run on the computer. And it uses both of those together to create the computer experience for you. Computers can range from something very, very small into something very, very simple. So, for example, a calculator, to something large and complex, so a supercomputer being used by NASA. They're both computers. One is small and simple, the other is quite large and complex. An embedded system is a computer built into other devices. So for example, if we think about a washing machine, when you look at it, is quite a complicated piece of equipment. It uses an embedded system for the monitoring of water flow, so making sure enough water is coming in, the water is going back out. It uses an embedded system to check the temperature of the water, making sure if you're in a hot wash that the water is at the right temperature. The speed of the cycle is making sure it's spinning enough. When you're using embedded systems, they're dedicated to a single task. So there is going to be an embedded system for monitoring the water flow. Because they only monitor the one task, they are cheap to produce. They are efficient at doing their tasks. So they've only got one thing to be focusing on. Because they're dedicated to the single task, that means they're more efficient because they've only got the one thing to be looking at. They're cheap to produce because they've only got one thing to be doing. And once you've worked out how to get that done, fantastic, move on. A computer contains components which work together to create a computing experience for you. So there's going to be a motherboard, there's going to be a CPU, there's going to be a hard drive, RAM, graphics card. All these things come together to create a workable computer. If you take one of those things out, if you take out the CPU or if you take out the motherboard, there's something missing. The computer system isn't going to work. So a computer system needs all these different components and other components we'll be looking at as well in a future video to be able to create a workable computer system. So to summarize, a computer is a machine that has data input to it, processes it, and then something happens as a result of it. So you give it a command, it thinks about it, it does something about it. Computers use a mixture of hardware, something physical, and software, which is something that you run on a computer. Embedded systems are systems which only have one function, only have one purpose, and once they do that, happy days. And a computer needs to have multiple pieces of hardware working together in harmony for it to be able to function. I hope you've enjoyed this video, I hope it's been useful for you, and I shall see you in a future video. See you later.